your girl Jenny, and welcome to another reading vlog. Today is Saturday, November 29th, so I can't believe we're almost in December. Like, we're in the last stretch of 2025, which is bonkers. Anyway, in this vlog I'm going to be focusing on ARC reads that are on my list, and I'm very excited. If you don't know what that is, an ARC is an advanced reader copy. Authors either reach out to readers, or readers are sometimes able to reach out to authors if they know there's a book coming out of theirs that they want to read. But essentially that's what it is. It's an advanced reader copy. You get to read the book in advance, and usually authors or the publishers ask for you to just read it before it comes out and throw out some reviews, whether that's like written through Amazon, Storygraph, Goodreads, or sometimes they ask for like video content. For me personally, I primarily do like video book reviews, so that's what I let them know. That's just my thing, right? So for me, I post them on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram as reels. So that's just kind of like what I personally do. I personally like working with indie authors because they also understand that like you're a person, you have a job, you have like things outside of the bookish space, so they're a little bit more lenient with those kind of deadlines, but there are some that are very strict. So if someone reaches out to you, like definitely check out those requirements because some are stricter than others. I technically have 3 ARC reads, but I just finished one today, and that was for The Soil is Calling by C.P. Bearden. This is a Southern Gothic horror novel, and it's his debut, and I really enjoyed it. It does release on January 27th, 2026, so definitely keep your eyes out for that. I did talk about it in my previous vlog, so I won't go too much into detail with it, but I did really enjoy it. The next one on my list is He Better Watch Out by Luna K. Wicked. I absolutely love Luna K. Wicked. My favorite by hers is La Ciguapa. I still highly recommend it. Just check the triggers. But anyway, He Better Watch Out is an Christmas erotic horror novella, and it is a queer Christmas carol retelling, but it does say 1 night, 3 gifts, 1 bad Santa. This one releases on December 12th. So I am going to start on this one first, and this is 96 pages, so we should be able to crank this out pretty quickly. And then we have Everything But the Skin by Radar Deboard, and I don't know if this is just a horror or an extreme horror. We will find out pretty quickly, but I think it's an extreme horror. It is releasing on January 5th, and it's about a cannibal witch eating the orphans of a small town. Sign me up. And then one that just came out either today or yesterday is called Girlhouse by Vanessa Maki. I'm not an ARC reader for this at all, but I just saw that it came out, or that it was released, and I was very intrigued because it is an extreme horror short story, and it's another indie author. And if there's something you need to know about me, is that I love indie authors. With all of that being said, I think I'm going to start with Girlhouse just because it's already been released, and this one is 31 pages, so we can knock it out pretty quickly. Girlhouse. I started Girlhouse, and this is a quote on page 13. A lot of us might die, but waiting around to die eventually is even worse. I'm going to update you guys on this shortly because I'm already 31% into the book, but I feel for these girls. It's so devastating. I just finished Girlhouse, and this is an extreme horror, and it's definitely brutal and gory. The ending, chef's kiss, just what I want. But in this we follow Ash, and she is now 16 years old, but she was kidnapped when she was about 14 and a half, and she has unfortunately been a witness to some atrocities at the hands of these men who kidnap younger girls, and you can probably guess what they want to do to these girls, or what they do to these girls, and it's very unfortunate and devastating to read about. But the strength and bravery that Ash shows is powerful. Okay, so she is now at the point where she wants to escape, and she's in a predicament where does she try to just save herself, or is she going to try to save the other girls as well? So I would give this a 3.75 out of 5 stars, and I think the thing that mainly knocked it down for me was the dialogue, just because felt so forced and like unnatural, and not even in the sense of like the context of the conversations, just because you would hope you're not in those kind of situations, but essentially kind of just like the tone and the delivery of it. It was just so unreal, especially some of the things coming from a 16-year-old. You're just like, you wouldn't say that. But yeah, that's pretty much like the only real thing that I have to say about it. Also, fuck these men who kidnapped these girls, and I feel like that was really long for a really short story, so I'm so sorry. So next I'm going to be reading He Better Watch Out by Luna K. Wicked. It's loosely inspired by A Christmas Carol, however this is a far darker interpretation. Instead of redemption, this Scrooge is confronted and consumed by the past, present, and future. Please note, this is not a romance. There is no happily ever after, no love story, and no traditional emotional arc. Only horror, judgment, and dissent. Proceed with caution. Santa is watching. So right now I've been introduced to our main character, Mr. Porter, and it looks like he has this company that his employees are currently boycotting, and he is not a nice guy. He's already threatened to fire one security person, and then he just fired the driver because there was like a little bump and he spilled his own latte on himself, and he fired the driver. So safe to say, he's not a good guy. So now I have a good idea of like where I think this is going. Also, if you're like me who deals with really chapped lips in the winter, this is a lifesaver. The Aquaphor Lip Repair Immediate Relief. I keep this thing on me all the time. If I didn't have this, my lips would have already been red, raw, and chapped. This is something Mr. Porter says, and you can definitely tell that he is so money hungry and greedy. Hard work pays off. The instant gratification is a reminder that working, even at the expense of others, does indeed pay off. So I just finished He Better Watch Out. Essentially, Devin Porter is the epitome of corporate greed, and it was interesting to see him go through the past, present, and the future and feeling tormented by the way that he treated others, because it's like, yes, you should feel bad, yes, you should feel guilty, because your greed cost other people a lot of things, and for some, their lives. So again, it's A Christmas Carol retelling. I enjoyed it, 4 out of 5 stars, and tomorrow I will be starting my art read of Everything But the Skin by Radar Deboard. I think we're doing pretty good. It's down to these 3, and I don't know which one to get, so I'm going to run them by Ricky so he can help me narrow it down. Okay, so I just finished Everything But the Skin by Radar Deboard, and oh my gosh, this one was so emotional. We essentially follow this young girl, Sophia, and she is having a terrible childhood. For some reason, everyone in this town sees her as an outcast and treats her horribly. There's maybe one person that shows any sort of compassion to Sophia, but it's just not enough in Sophia's eyes. I mean, imagine everybody from the kids to the adults hating you, and you have no safe space because, oh, I forgot to mention, she's an orphan. So she doesn't have family that she can turn to, and it's just so heartbreaking, and I really enjoyed it. So this was pitched to me as a cannibal witch going after orphan kids, and yes, that is it. But there's so much more behind that whole thing. We find out who and what the witch is, what it really wants, and just the way everything ties together. And I have to say, men suck, okay? If men could just accept no as an answer, then that would solve a lot of problems. But overall, I know that's kind of like all over the place just because I don't know what I'm able to say right now just because I don't want to spoil anything, but overall I really enjoyed it. What a solid read. I would recommend. So yeah, that concludes my vlog of reading my arcs. I feel pretty successful. We did a good job. So with that being said, I wonder if any of the arcs that I read in this are interesting to you. Are you going to be checking out any of these? If so, let me know. Hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I will see you in the next one. And as always, happy reading.